Hi everyone, it's Rachel from Don't Crop Me Now, and it's now time for our next update about the community plot. We are now 4 weeks into the project and we have made some amazing progress, so I can't wait to show you all. And here we are from the front of the community plot. I cannot say how relieved I am to have got to the end of the mass bindweed removal. I am sure that we will find bits that pop through, but I have done a really thorough job and we've cleared bindweed plenty of times before and don't find it to be too much bother coming back through, just in little bits really, which are easy to deal with if you've done a really good job. So as you can see, this front of the bit here that I have cleared, we are going to put another row of these pallet collars in, and then there will be a flower border on the front. But the main structure we've got in now is this middle section that has got pallet collars for raised beds and nice quite wide paths. We're trying to make sure that it stays pretty accessible. The reason that we've chosen to use the pallet collars is because they are a standard size. We can just get a few more and go upwards to increase the height, thinking about that accessibility. So really pleased with those. So that's this middle section. Still got a few more of those to get, which are to sort of fill where the gaps are, at, like for example there, and obviously the final row over there. And then we have the back section, and the back section is really a section where you're going to be able to sit down, have a cup of tea, have a chat. When we run some events, we can all sit down together. So we will have a seating area here. I'm hoping we can get hold of another picnic table and then we can put them together so it's a big long seating area. We have got these raised planters. They're currently full with bits of woods that we're using for a lot of the building projects, but they are going to have a nice lavender border in, and then we've got some areas where we can have herbs and flowers behind here as well. Everything that you can see has been recycled except from the pallet collars. We did get hold of those, but everything else has either been donated and then recycled. So we have really spent an absolute minimum budget on this. This bit over here, this big bed, is going to be a carrot bed, and that was made from some old trestle tables that we use at our open day that were a little bit past it. I don't know how long many years that will last, but it will do the job in the meantime. This absolutely amazing compost bin, which is actually going to be a manure storage bin, was made by one of our plot holders who's pretty skilled in terms of putting things together. And so obviously we need the roofing felt finishing on the top, but that is going to be to store the manure. And then behind here, we've got a fence that's going to separate between, because this is a half plot on the back, that is actually our plot, 5B. And you can see that we've just started to paint this. I actually managed to get loads of different paint from various random people and mix them together. And that's the colour I've got. I'm quite happy with it. It looks quite a nice little chocolate brown. So I painted that panel just so we can see what colour it is. But then you can see there is a fence that divides on here. Along this fence, we are going to cordon some apple trees and maybe pear trees in. That's why there's gaps within this path on the back. So we will plant the trees, we'll put some wires up, and we will cordon them on that fence. Have decided to put some of this weed suppressant membrane down at this back point here. It's not my most ideal thing to use. I would prefer to reduce the use of plastic. But just because we can't guarantee that we can get a wood chip-in delivery really quickly, this plot has been allowed to seed for 3 to 4 seasons. So I do not want to be having to deal with an open ground underneath all this seating, because it will be weeds mania very quickly. So I put that down really just in case we can't get hold of the wood chip-ins from a tree surgeon quickly enough to get this up and running in spring. But that overall is the plot. Really pleased with the progress on this. I just forgot the greenhouse at the back. So as you can see, this is our plot, one of our plots, which is 5B. And on our allotment ground, the area that is right at the back is a shared area if it's a half plot. So on the right, you can see our greenhouse, it's for 5B. And there was a little tin shed that was on the left, and we have taken that down and we have moved that, and we have managed to get a greenhouse, and that has been put up on the left, the green coloured greenhouse. So that greenhouse actually belongs to the community plot, which we can use for getting everything going to be able to plant out. So that's a real asset as well. So now let's just look at how long this has taken us. We are just at the end of the 4th week in. I've done a bit of a tally at the top. Those are the hours and the different tasks that we have done putting this plot together. And as you can see, one of the really nice things is I've been counting up how many of the plot holders on the ground have contributed in some way, and we've had 18 plot holders so far that have contributed in some way to this project. So that might have been donating some sort of items or donating their time. We had quite a lot of people come along to move that greenhouse, which was really helpful. So let's look at the totals. We have a total of 71 hours to get to this point. I've had quite a bit of annual leave and I've used a lot of that time, but we have had those 18 people helping for various things, which has been absolutely brilliant. So on our 4 weeks in, we had about 2 hours that were removing brambles and woody waste, another 5 hours disposing waste, and then you can see that biggest time has been 26 hours of weeding bindweed, because this plot was completely full of bindweed. You can see there's various other jobs that have been done that have taken quite a lot of time. So things like picking up the flags, moving the greenhouse, laying the greenhouse base and putting the greenhouse back up, laying the paths, edging the paths, and then the final thing, putting together that structure at the seating end. So the beds, various seating, the raised planters, that sort of thing. That was 12 hours, so it's quite a bit. So that is a total of 71 hours. The main work that we have done over the last 2 weeks has been all the bindweed weeding, getting the edges in and getting all that structure together. So I hope you have all enjoyed that update today. I'm so happy about the progress on this community plot. We're going to be putting out lots of information to the plot holders about how this plot will be used on our allotment ground over the next growing season. So if you've enjoyed the video today, please like, comment and subscribe. It only takes a minute, but it really helps our channel. Take care everyone. Bye.